When you're ready, we can get started.
There we are. We're recording. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming over the Zoom for the interview. You are applying for the entry-level paralegal position with our firm. But why don't you go ahead and start and tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Dulce. Currently, I am finishing off the accelerated paralegal program at UCSD. It is extremely time-consuming and intense, but very rewarding and very educational. So I'm excited to start my career once I am able to complete all the requirements to begin.
Perfect. So what got you interested in the legal field?
Well, according to my mother, I've always wanted to be part of the legal community. I wanted to be a lawyer, but I don't feel like that is fit for me. But I still do want to be part of the legal field. So paralegal seems like it's a good, I guess, not compromise, but it's a good position to still be working and still learn and still be able to help people that need legal assistance in a more affordable way. And that is something that I am greatly looking forward to once I'm able to begin.
Got it. And is there a particular interest in family law and why?
Yes. So family law is I understand it's very impactful to people who are looking for legal help, and it's more interpersonal than business law or any other kind of law, which is something that I am drawn to. I really do want to help people achieve, I guess, better stability in their lives. And I mean, personally, I have not legal issues, but family with my daughter. And when the time comes, I do want to be prepared and be knowledgeable of everything that I need to do to protect her.
Got it. So you have some personal connection to it. So yeah, so family law is a very, very emotional type of law compared to all the others. You're dealing with people's families, people's children, people's livelihood. It's a very emotional time in their life. It's the worst time of their life. And it's like a lot of attorneys will tell you that the rewarding part of family law is only when there's children involved and you've done the right thing for the child. But other than that, it's like you never get the appreciation from a client like you would in another law. Mm-hmm. Like if you get them what they wanted, well, that was your job. And if you don't get them what they wanted, you ruin their lives. So that's the type of very, very stressful, emotional environment in family law. And family law is not for everybody. Mm-hmm. I like to be very transparent when people are trying to come into family law, because in school, yes, it sounded interesting at doing, it's very busy, it's very fast paced, it's dramatic. But because of that drama, you're dealing with domestic violence, child molestation sometimes. You're dealing with, families purposely being evil in the sense of trying to take children away, moving away, not being financially, helpful. So I found a lot of people that they're like, yeah, I don't think I could do this family law. I came into it thinking it was one thing and it really isn't. So what's been your experience dealing with difficult clients, difficult personalities, difficult individuals, and how did you handle the situation?
So I worked in a call center for a clinic, so for North County Health Services. And I mean, my main job was to schedule appointments. But when you talk to people through the phone who aren't doing their best health-wise, it is a bit intense. I've received once a call where a mother was like, my daughter was molested. And in that sense, no, I have a daughter, so I didn't really know how to react since it didn't happen to me, thankfully. So what I had to do was steer her in a way like, okay, if you want to come into the doctors, definitely can speak to a doctor. We can get you psychological help. Try to give her options and kind of orient her to a place where she, like the mother herself, can be safe, feel like she can speak with anybody, and also her daughter that she will be safe with one of our doctors if need be. So in that sense of like like something traumatic that can happen to, unfortunately, a child, it's just making sure that they are secure, that we have essentially their back, and that of course we will help them in any way we can to make them feel safe, make them feel like they've received justice, which I'm pretty, and relief, especially relief, which everybody is looking for in situations like that.
Yeah. Um, and I know you haven't worked with attorneys yet, but attorneys have their mind of their own in a sense, but they're high expectations. They're very vocal when you do something wrong, when something's not done right. They're not confrontational in the sense, but they're not afraid to come to you and be like, hey, why was this done this way? Hey, what's the status of this? And they're very, very meticulous when it comes to their work. Their job is very reputation based. So any work that goes to the court, any work that you do, anything that goes out the door is their name on it. So at our firm, we have over 25 attorneys. Each have their own style, each have their own personalities, their own demands, their own style. And as when you're a paralegal, you're assigned 2 to 3 attorneys. So having to change hats, like, okay, this case is for attorney A, next assignment. This assignment is for attorney C. I have to do something different. How would you organize your day and your workload to adapt to those different personalities?
So every single task, of course, is important, especially when it comes to in case of like going to court. Every client is important, but I would say prioritizing the item that is mostly that's coming up. Time management is important. So like anything that is time consuming, put that first so we can get ahead of it and not fall behind, especially when it comes to when, like I said, going to court and those deadlines coming up. And in respect to different personalities of attorneys, I'm pretty sure it's very stressful. I'm pretty sure it is very like you said when we started the interview, go, 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 always on the move. So I would just, I guess, say initially figuring out them personally, who they are, what makes them work, what makes them tick, what is their preference, and being able to instantly switch to their personality or to what they like. That way it makes our work run smoother.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. So how do you handle stress and pressure in the work environment?
The way that I handle is if it comes from a superior, of course, understanding that apart from my own stress, of course, they have stress. Everybody has their work to do. Me personally is writing it out, writing my feelings out, being like, this is how I feel. I'm pretty sure this is how the other person feels, and then just letting it out that way. Being with my daughter, she pretty much calms me down no matter what, and going out for walks. I know that definitely helps you disperse all thoughts and like bring you back to the, okay, so this did happen, we can just move on and continue our work how we are supposed to do.
Have you ever had a situation at work with a coworker where we perhaps didn't agree, or there was a procedure in place that you perhaps weren't, on the same page with? So how did you handle that situation? And if you haven't, how would you handle a situation like that?
So working before, yes, I've had some situations like that with coworkers that we didn't agree on how to do something, or if there's a policy in place, whether it should apply to a certain situation where it's a bit confusing. And what I did was I asked my superiors to have some time with the coworker and them and basically talk it out, saying our point of views, seeing it through each other's eyes, and understanding where they're coming from, and for them to understand where I'm coming from, since of course all life situations are different and we all have our different opinions. Which just understanding that everyone does have their own opinion. Everybody does bring in their experience in life, and just understanding each other. That's how I was able to resolve that little conflict.
Okay. Let's see. So can you explain how, how was the environment at your last, or are you still there at the North County Health Services?
Not at the moment. I decided to take time to actually focus on the extension program. Mhm.
Okay. So when you were there, how was the work environment?
It was The work environment there was pretty lenient. Our manager was very understanding of life situations. So if I had anything that came up with my daughter, I was able to talk to her, and they were pretty understanding. With the coworkers, it was since it is taking calls all day. We were able to create like a connection of understanding, and it was actually not easy, but the environment was very kind of like family, like we are in this together, and that helped me connect with the patients in that sense. So the environment with my coworkers helped me with the patients.
So have you ever made a mistake at work or at school? And what was that mistake, and what did you learn from it, and how did you deal with it?
So a mistake that I have done at work, especially in the call center, was scheduling incorrectly in one of let's say like a patient wanted a physical, which did happen to me. They wanted a physical, and it was for their child, and of course being there, physicals are kind of difficult to come by, so I scheduled it incorrectly. So I had to call the mother and to reschedule. They were extremely upset. So I had to look for a separate appointment that was correctly scheduled, and then explain to the mother my error. And I said, I'm sorry, I scheduled this incorrectly. I do apologize for the inconvenience for you. I did what I was able to find it at this time. Does this work well for you? And I did get a piece of her mind. But ultimately we were able to come up with a time that she was comfortable. So I did get a lot of screaming, but I was able to resolve it by finding them something that they felt was correct for them.
So this position does have a billing requirement. We do require our paralegals to bill between 5 to 6 hours a day. What type of experience do you have with keeping track of your time, entering your time, and billing softwares?
So for right now, for billing software, I haven't really gotten into that in school, so I'm not that familiar with it, although I'm looking forward to it. What I have been told is that anything billable must be recorded and must be followed with an explanation of what it is. So in one of my classes, they are making us write down everything that we do specifically for that class, like our homework or any reading or any of that. We have to write it down and put in the hours, and we have to explain it. So let's say like if I have, we have like computer training, of course, like a program that we have to do for Word or Excel to get familiar with it, then I have to write down, we have to put it down as case number, and then we have to put like worked or logged into the program, and then I did this amount of work and I did this and this, and I put the hour. So from that, organizing that, I guess it's just being specific as to what work I I did specifically for that client. That way, when they receive the bill, they know that it wasn't just me sitting around in the computer not doing anything. Like it has to prove exactly what I did.
Yes, so that would be the same thing that you'd be asked to do here. You have to keep track of all of your assignments. I always train for you to bill as you're working and not at the end of the day, because you're more likely to remember what you did within the last hour than at the end of the day. So keeping track of your time, writing skills is a very important skill set that we're looking for. Where would you rate your writing from a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, my writing, I would say I'm at a 7. I do know that I'm not perfect. um, Grammar doesn't come easily to me, but I am working on it, and I'm doing um, extra reading from the books that I have from when I was in my literature and writing for my major. So I'm briefing up on my on my
Okay.
grammatical skills. But I would say like a 7 for my writing skills.
And have you had any experience composing emails, composing correspondence?
I have at my past work, we had to constantly email our manager about anything that's any changes or any errors that we did, also to the directors and to sometimes even nurses and doctors. So writing it out professionally is something that I had to learn there.
Okay. What would you consider your biggest strength to be?
Um, I would consider communication and understanding the other person will be one of the strengths that I have.
What about your weakness?
A weakness, I would have to say maybe um, for right now, it will be my research skills. I do know they're not up to par from that they have to be, but I am learning to hopefully get up to the point of where I am able to know exactly where to look for something.
Okay. So if you were to get the job and let's say you're training, but your manager or the person training you walks away, how would you, like, if they were giving an assignment that you didn't know how to get done, how would you go about in finding answers?
So the people around me will definitely be a huge support system. They will definitely know how to help me because I'm pretty sure they've done it before. So I would say reaching out to the people around me if like the supervisor isn't available or the lawyer isn't available, just using the people around me to help me figure out what to do and not guess and get it wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I always say never assume in legal because one mistake could cost the case. So it's very important that, we work with very minimal errors. And talking about errors, how do you verify your work for errors? How do you, double check your work and make sure that there's no errors?
I would say not being afraid to tell someone else or superior to proofread it or to just make sure that it's concise. Um, People using other people who are more knowing of what I am doing, have them oversee it instead of just trying to figure out for myself, especially when I don't know exactly what if it's correct. So using other people definitely to proofread, not being afraid to go up to my attorney or to the lawyer and telling them if you can please review this just to make sure that everything is okay.
Uh, So from us in an order of 1, 2, 3, how would you place each one in importance? So work environment, salary, and benefits. So what would be your number 1, number 2, and number 3?
Definitely work environment. I believe that it is, if the work environment is fitting for you, you will thrive. And if it's not, then it might hinder you. Benefits, definitely to make sure that I am getting the best that I can there. And then salary will be my third. It's for me, it's not so much the money, but it's like helping people make sure that everything in their lives, like you said, especially when it comes to like the messy stuff like divorce and disputes of children, making sure that they are they're getting what they need.
Do you have any questions for me so far?
I would like to know in your firm, the work environment, like, is it easy to speak to other people to getting help, or is it like no, you have to wait for this certain time?
Right. It really depends. Everybody is super helpful. We're very much of a team here. We're all about the AM family, we call each other, and helping each other out.
Mhm.
However, when an attorney or somebody is on a deadline, somebody is working on something that they're very stressed out, they will be like, not right now. Like, you may go into their office and they'll be like, I can't talk right now, or just come back in an hour, or it's not a good time. Like, they're very vocal about it. And in no way it's meant to be rude, yelling. It's just they're stressed out. They need no distractions. They need, like, if it's urgent, like if it has to do with something they're working on as well, they'll invite you. Of course, they'll be like, yes, what is it? What's going on? But if it has to do with anything else other than what they're working on, they're very much going to be like, not right now, especially the attorneys. Other paralegals know, I think everybody's very helpful. We're very big on helping each other out, making sure we don't do any mistakes. Managers hold their whole department accountable. So if one person messes up, it's kind of like the whole department. So that's very much the environment is there's always somebody to help. Other managers are always willing to help. It's just that it depends on what your question is.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah. And talking about teamwork, what is your definition of teamwork?
So my definition of teamwork is definitely helping out when I can help out, seeking for help when I do need it, and holding everybody accountable for what they they are assigned to do, as well as helping to remind. Like, I will sure definitely like someone to be like, okay, did you already do this? And like in a team, as well as I want to feel comfortable being like, okay, so did you already finish this? That communication, definitely communication in a team is priority. So I guess that's what I look for in team.
Okay. If anybody could just tell you, like, you could create your own work environment, if you could, create it whichever way you like, how would that work environment be?
So my work environment physically, of course, would be being able to have a desk that is around people, to ask them for help, having people around me who are knowledgeable, who are understanding and able to help me with any questions that I have, as well as being able to access people, so I can speak with them and ask them for help. Apart from that, it's just having understanding coworkers that are willing always to help, and like you said, if there is anything stressful, like, find ways that we can help each other. That would be like an ideal work environment.
Perfect. Do you have any other questions for me?
One question: you seem very young. When did you begin to work in the legal field?
I began in the legal field about 7 years ago. I did my paralegal program at USD 5 years ago. With the company, I've actually been with the company for 5 years. So right out of graduating from paralegal studies, I started here at Antonyan Miranda. I've grown with the company very, very fast, to be honest. It's a very fast growing company. There's a lot of growth. I actually, one thing you'll realize that if you don't have the legal experience, it's one of those where you kind of just have to find an entry level job. So the way I did it, I started off as a legal receptionist, even though I had my paralegal certificate. I was a legal receptionist for about 3 months before they're like, yeah, like, you're obviously qualified for be a paralegal. I became the floater paralegal, and 6 months in, I was the partner's paralegal. I worked with him, so he really liked my work. I became his paralegal. Then I was a paralegal for 5 attorneys, so I had to learn really, really fast. And within a year, I became the senior paralegal, training all the paralegals, hiring paralegals, supervising. And within another year from that, that's when I was offered the operations manager. And since then, I've grown into the senior role, and managed every single department you can think of. So yeah, so I was lucky enough to really, be passionate and work and put in the work. And um, very young, my age, with my peers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of the youngest. But I came from the finance world before that, so like I was upper management and fine and banking. So that also really helped out getting into the legal field.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And then what are the benefits that you guys provide there?
Benefits. So it would be hourly rate. We do require people to be available to do overtime. Is that something you're open to? Sometimes it's unannounced. There's a
Mhm.
trial, there's a deadline due, and we do ask some paralegals to stay overtime. So we do offer overtime. We offer paid parking. So we're in downtown San Diego, which very few pay for parking, but we pay for parking. We also we pay 50% of your medical benefits. We also provide, and it's not just medical, it's medical, dental, vision. We offer that too. Short-term disability, disability. We also offer additional insurance like AFLAC. So if you want additional insurance like hospital programs, disability, long-term disability, we have those insurances. When it comes to other benefits, we also do a lot, well, pre-COVID, we would do a lot of activities. We do offer dry cleaning services here. We offer shoe repair. We sometimes have a masseuse come in once every 2 weeks. And we call it a WOW and Good Job program. So we have a good job program where anybody in the firm could give you a good job ticket. It could be for just, doing a great job on something. They thought you did, you went above and beyond. And each of those tickets are worth $5. And those tickets, you could then redeem them for any of those services: dry cleaning, shoe repair, masseuse. We have monthly firm lunches. So the firm provides a firm lunch once a month just to kind of get the whole firm together, hear announcements, welcome new individuals, have birthdays, celebrations. We would also have a quarter happy hour. So the firm would host happy hour after work for everybody in the firm. And we have employee appreciation days. So we take a half day off, and we've been doing it for the past couple of years. We go to the beach all day. We have activities. It's kind of like a little retreat. We also offer paid training, so CLEs. We are CLE provider. We're very much on education and involved in the community. So we constantly are doing trainings. We invite everybody, including paralegals. We also have community service and social committees. So they're the ones that plan firm events like beach cleanup. As a firm, we'll go and do a beach cleanup. We'll go and feed the homeless. We've done our social committee are the ones that handle like game night, trivia night. We'll do movie nights. So there's very much always something going on. We're very big on that. So we really do try to foster a new contemporary type of work. You're not the traditional family law firm, to be honest. We are very colorful. We have murals. We're very future forward in the sense that like a lot of our attorneys are younger. So we really try to foster, that type of environment where everybody feels comfortable. We really take everybody's feedback. If you want to be part of the social committee because you want to start a run club every day, hey, we're open to that, where we make you the leader, and the firm supports you in making that happen. So that's kind of like all the benefits that we provide.
It seems like it's a very supporting place to be. Like it's a family.
Yes,
Farm family.
definitely. If you see our social media, you'll see that we're like the AM family, and we're all about that. We spend more time with our coworkers than we do with our family sometimes. So we try to make it as comfortable as possible, you know, to be here, especially with everything going on.
Wow. And in that case, with all the support, like how is the caseload like, or the stress level there? Is it like something that warrants that so much support, or is it just something that comes
It
out?
warrants it because it is very high stressful. I like to be very transparent.
Mhm.
Very, very, very high caseload, very, very stressful. Attorneys are probably in court every single day. We are a very litigation family law firm. We have trials, we have evidentiary hearings, we have hearings every day. Very, very transactional. So for the paralegals here, you will not be doing a lot of drafting when it comes to drafting drafting actual like trial briefs or research. That is all done with the attorneys and the legal clerks. We're very departmentalized, so like everybody has their job. We have the discovery department. They handle everything discovery, incoming, outgoing, subpoenas, anything discovery, they handled it. If you're not in that department, you won't be handling discovery as much. If you're in litigation, you're the one that's handling the case from start to finish. Hearings, talking to clients, talking to opposing counsel, serving documents, filing documents, calendaring. It's very transactional, so you're working on one thing after the next, working on one thing after the next. Then we have like our, of course, finance department that deals with everything finance. We have our concierge that do the case managers. We have our forensic accountancy, our CPAs who handle all financial part of it. So this type of paralegal position is very transactional. If you're looking for, oh, I want to be drafting and researching and being very hands-on with documents, that's not really how the paralegals work here. It's very transactional in the sense, go, 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 go. We have a deadline, and therefore it makes it very stressful.
I see. Oh, that's interesting. I guess on a big farm, being able to, like you say, compartmentalize areas, it's very useful with not streamlining, but getting everything done. Like experts doing it in that field. That way, because from what I've heard from school, I know a lot of times, sometimes a paralegal has to do the whole process sometimes, especially in a small firm. So it's good to hear that you can focus in an area and making sure that everything is perfect. And I'm pretty sure you can move around if need be. You get to learn in all areas, but focusing in one area seems like very beneficial.
Yes, so that's the big difference between big firms and smaller firms. Paralegals here are very done to like one certain task versus having to do everything. So it just really depends on, you know, what you're looking for, your growth. In the bigger firms, there are more opportunities for growth. There's a lot more departments. We're very much about, we love to do internal promotions. That's kind of like our best, that's our kind of like preference than to hire with you know, outside. So I've had my legal receptionist, like I was a legal receptionist. I have legal receptionists who are now in finance, who are a paralegal, who's a legal assistant. So like everybody kind of just moves from different departments as they grow with the company.
That's interesting. So, like you said, you began as a legal assistant. What does that entail? Like, what would you do in that aspect?
Well, as a legal receptionist, you're the receptionist. However, you're taking the calls, you're the front desk, but we call them legal receptionists because they're also doing legal assistant work. They
Mhm.
help us with court calendar, they help paralegals, they help every single department. They help with filing, they help with scanning, they help with data entry into our software program. So it's kind of like a great way to really learn everything and learn every single department, get to know how every department works. So it's really just an entry level reception, legal assistant, be available to whatever somebody needs.
Okay, that's interesting. I like how it seemed like it's mostly based like communication, where everybody is not afraid to help you out as well as to tell you that it is wrong and if you can please redo it. So it seems like a very interesting work environment there.
Yes, yes, and I'm not going to say it isn't, but it is. Like they're very, you know, we're very much about everybody learning and getting up to speed with it. But we also are like, we could be very busy where it's kind of like for a moment you might be sink or swim situation, like throw you in the water and jump right into it.
Wow. It seems like it's going to be a really good environment to work in.
Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I believe that's all.
Yeah, I think I got my questions. Obviously, we're still doing some interviews. We'll be making a decision either by the end of next week. The way it works is usually it depends on the department you're interviewing for. For in this case, there would be a second interview with the actual manager of that department, so the managing paralegal. You would have another interview meeting with them, which they will go more into detail about the job, like on a day-to-day. So we'll be making a decision, sending out an email for an invitation to a second interview, and after that was when we'll be making our decision.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day, rest of the week, and we'll be in contact. If you have any other questions that come up after the fact, you have my contact information. Don't hesitate in reaching out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.